Griffins are real. Kinda. It's a bold claim, I know, but don't worry, this isn't some medieval flat earth theory. So, let me tell you the story. Also, hi, it's been a hot minute and I missed your smiling faces. But, details of the last week's gap at the end of the video. So yes, a griffin. You know that mythical creature with the tail, back legs and body of a lion, and the head, front legs and wings of an eagle? Yeah, that one. So let's jump back in history to find the source of this beast. Before modern interpretations, before medieval illuminations, before Roman illustrations, to the Greek illustrious legends when the Greeks first had contact with the Scythian nomads, which I like to imagine went something like this. Hi.
Hi.
We've got griffins. But the story goes that Aristeas, a Greek traveller, poet and author of that region from around the 7th century BCE, actually described griffins as real creatures. His work is now lost to the ages, but it is referenced by Aeschylus and Herodotus, which in turn is referenced by Mela and Solinus. They write that Mount Riphi is uninhabitable, for the griffins are cruel and unkind. They are abound in gold and jealously possess it. We think that Mount Riphi refers to the Ural Mountains, a 1,500 mile or 2,500 kilometre stretch of mountains that divides Europe and Asia. Now, the stories of griffins aren't locked to the Ural Mountains and they can predate Aristeas, but their legends are almost always intertwined with gold and mountains. And here's where it gets interesting, because we can find stories like this that point to the true origin of the griffin. Real quick, this is about the point where most YouTubers would ask you to subscribe, but I'll just tell you that over 99% of people who are not subscribed don't know the difference between a griffin and a hippogriff, let alone deliver it with a really bad joke. Anyway, the Scythians traded gold along the prehistory trade routes of Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. And in this area of the world, either through mining for precious minerals or via natural erosion, skulls and bones were eventually exposed. And in this area specifically, that's skulls and bones that look like this. Now, with modern research and reconstruction, we believe these creatures actually look like this. Beasts known today as the Protoceratops, as well as their genus. But to someone who had never seen this lion-sized creature before, it makes sense that it would have looked like this. In the same way that if I asked you to reconstruct a creature from this skull, you would probably come up with something like this. Or this skull, you might think look like this, but in reality, they're just a hippo and a hamster. Interestingly, according to legend, Scythian gold was not only protected by griffins, but to even reach them, you had to pass through the land of the Aramaspi, which is a warlike nation of Cyclopeans. And this part of the legend may have been fortified by two completely separate factors. Aramaspi in early Iranian means horse lover, or people of the horses, but the Greeks from at least the time of Herodotus thought the name itself meant one eye. And this may have been combined with evidence of cyclopses, whatever that plural is. There's a strong hypothesis that Bronze Age civilizations may have used fossils to support existing myths or help solidify new ones. Like this gigantic 35-inch or 90-centimeter skull to validate legends of Polyphemus, a 15-foot or 4.5-meter man-eating cyclops. Whereas in reality, it's just an elephant skull. Admittedly, an elephant looks very impressive when you lay the bones down like this, instead of like this. This hypothesis of preserved fossils being found by people like the Scythian nomads was first proposed by Adrian Mayer of Stanford, which has been contested by scholars like Mark P. Whitten as crypto-paleontology and pseudoscience. But sorry Mark, your rebuttal to the hypothesis was a bit too dismissive and strawy and didn't consider factors like was noted in Dinosaurian Fauna of China, written by Dong Qing, a paleontologist who in a lot of ways agrees with Adrian, noting that the ancient Chinese considered fossils to be dragon bones and they documented them as such. So she may just be right and griffins are real, albeit through misinterpreted discovery and elaborated tales. But hey, I'm just a guy who likes history, loves swords, and has a weird fascination with griffins. So of course, I wanted to share this amazing and intriguing hypothesis with you. Oh, and real quick, speaking of swords, I've got some exciting news for you. Over the last few weeks, I've been busy building the Sword Savvy website for you, as promised, and it's currently being tested by our Savvy patrons, which, for only $1 per video, you could be a part of. Now, the site isn't quite ready yet, so over the next little while, I'll be doing week on, week off videos, so I can respond to their feedback, add even more elements to the site, and tidy everything up. So stay tuned, stay awesome, and stay sword savvy.